Right now we're on vacation in Vancouver, British Columbia. It's gorgeous here. The city is really, really cool. It's like, Vancouver is like a mix between San Francisco, Seattle, and Denver. Like if San Francisco, Seattle, and Denver got together and had a baby, then it would be Vancouver. If you don't realize it, Vancouver is one of the hottest real estate markets in the entire world, definitely in North America. Everything took off in the early 2000s and just started going straight up. And in the United States, when everything crashed in 2006, 2008, Canada just kept going. So Vancouver's not experienced a bust yet. The average house in Vancouver was $400,000 in 2002. So $400,000 in 2002. Today, the average home value in Vancouver is $1.7 million, which is crazy. So it's gone from $400,000 to almost $2 million, and it hasn't slowed down. So we were talking to our friends and we're like, well, how much, what does it take to get a house here in Vancouver? And they said bare minimum $1 million to buy a property in Vancouver. So being a real estate guy, I had to see these houses for myself. So let's go look at some houses. So right now we're staying in an area called Mount Pleasant, which is just south of downtown. And I'm walking around the neighborhoods and I'm thinking, my gosh, the house we're staying in with some friends, it's like a $3 million home. Back home, it's a really nice house, don't get me wrong, but back home that would be like $400,000 maybe. So I'm out here this morning, it's early, it's like 6:45. I wanted to see firsthand with my own eyes what the hottest real estate market in the entire world looks like.
Into your early life, romance came, and it 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 came, and it
Came back in a neighborhood in Mount Pleasant. There's a house that says new listing. It says new listing, it's right here. I'm gonna look at the website, I'm gonna look it up. So it's a little ranch on a corner lot. It has no backyard, at all. And looks like it's maybe like 900 square feet. So I forgot the website. Similar to that back home in Cincinnati would probably be, I don't know, if you were in Coleraine, house like that would probably be worth like $130,000 all fixed up. It looks like it's got a basement. You see a lot of the houses down here have basements that are raised up. So you got the because the real estate's so expensive, they've built like mother-in-law suites or like situations where the family will live upstairs and then the parents will live in the finished basement, just because it's the only way to afford $2 million for a house if you want to live in Vancouver. So I'm looking this up. So Jennifer Sale, personal real estate. This is her. Let's see what she's selling this house for. Okay, I'm looking at new listings here. Here it is. So 85 East 18th Avenue, Vancouver, British Columbia. How much do you think that is? Do you see that? $2.29 million. So it's a 1-bed, 2-bath, incredible west of main location at 18th in Quebec. RS7 zone, 120 corner lot, features 1950s bungalow and detached garage. Solid home, immaculately maintained by long-term live-in owner. Main floor features beautiful. Oh my gosh, $2.2 million.
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
I mean, look at that. So let's see what this house looks like for $2 million. It's interesting, they've got a sign on the front of it that says no agents. So, I mean, this is a nice neighborhood. It's not, you know, you wouldn't come here and walk around and say, okay, these are worth like $2 million, especially not a little studio like that. I mean, you've got this house right here. That looks like a house like you'd see in Pleasant Ridge or something like that in Cincinnati. This may be worth, you know, 150, 160. So you got a couple ones. I mean, you've got this really cool modern house here. I'm sure that's got to be like if that thing's $2 million, that's a $6 million house right there. I mean, geez, back home you couldn't even imagine spending $6 million on a house in Cincinnati. So this is it. You're getting to see firsthand one of the hottest real estate markets in the entire world. Looks like a regular neighborhood to me. It looks pretty good. And back home, these would be $200,000 to $300,000 homes. This looks a lot like Oakley, but here in Vancouver, where the housing market is absolutely on fire, these are $3 million homes, $2 million for a one-bedroom house that on a tiny little postage stamp lot where I'm not even sure how big of a house you could build. So kudos to them. I can see now why so many real estate investors are coming from Canada and buying in places in the States to invest in real estate, like, you know, Cincinnati and Columbus and Indianapolis, because you can get a lot of house for the money and you're not risking as much. It's been really cool to kind of hang out here and look around and get an idea of what one of the hottest real estate markets in the entire world looks like firsthand.